You guys must have paid attention to the fact that Donald Trump did a cut paste of basically Venezuela as a leader or dictator, whatever you want to call him, Maduro, directly cutting it from Venezuela and pasting it into USA. Now, why did he did that? Well, you have to understand, America has one superpower known as dollar. Now, that dollar has a superpower known as petrodollar. Now, petrodollar was a very long-term gamble from ancient administration of USA that they're going to provide security guarantee to Saudi Arabia, and in a return they're going to use dollar for all crude oil transaction. So that makes dollar infinitely robust. Basically, that's the primary reason why even after trillions of dollars of debt, they're still stable. However, because Joe Biden was, I do not know what the hell he was doing, but he was such a bad performing president that Saudi Arabia flat out stopped taking up phone calls, and for the first time since this doctrine was implemented, they actually traded crude oil for yuan. Basically, this is the first time crack in the armor actually showed. So dollar first time became vulnerable. However, Donald Trump played a chess move. Basically, if he directly tries to remove security guarantees that is keeping the Middle East stable, specifically Saudi Arabia, it will create a war kind scenario. It is not good for anyone. And going again and reasserting control again, Iraq has already taught them that that is not smooth sailing operation. So they created a conundrum. They can't pull back, nor they can enforce their will. However, there is one way: flood the market. Basically, if they control C, control V, Venezuela's control, and that way they can flood the market, have so much crude oil that, yeah, you can buy expensive Arabian oil or cheap Venezuelan oil. That gives them direct control again, and it would be really good for them to not have Chinese intermediary range missiles placed into Venezuela. It's basically Cuban again. That's why the raid was fine-tuned, way too fine-tuned for Chinese diplomat, way too fine-tuned. So that was the primary reason, and they have multiple justification. A, they felt like it. B, narco-terrorism. C, did not want Chinese missiles on on so close to home. So they can justify it however they want to do, and they had made sure that petrodollar is untainted. However, let that be very clear, the next 3 years will decide whether this was a good gambit or a bad one. If Venezuela recovers and actually becomes a stable, okay-ish, even okay-ish, does not have to be the next best thing, but if it becomes okay-ish, everybody will remember as Donald Trump, who brought peace to the Venezuela. Failure to do so, he will be remembered exactly like George Bush, the man who plunged the world into war for no apparent reason. So next 3 years will be very interesting.